just play out and hoping that we can sort out all the issues we've got on this map in arguably what is a tournament that I think is actually very important for 9Z at the moment. Now, in the position they're currently in, they might actually already be in the area of direct invite towards Pro League regardless, but you don't want to leave that regards. Leave that. And, win Kato, and hope that you can do it. I mean, we'll come to all of this a little bit later, but my God, I feel like we do feel like we're beating a bit of a dead horse here, but there is actually rhyme to the reason of why we keep bringing it up, and we'll have to see. 9Z, so far, we've had our troubles with this map from them. Let's see how things start off. It's very good for the first. The seconds do come around, and it's actually a very clean pistol takeout towards Long. There's a player in towards Car, causing a couple of issues. You jerk, he steps up. He can be difficult, got to pull off a reload, and yeah, that leaves him isolated.
Yeah, they needed a Rozdosh there with the Julies, didn't they, really? I think they did a very good job of slowing them down, but unfortunately, he was nowhere to be found. Still has potential here, yet to reveal himself. Just waiting for a head to come over the lip of the platform. It was there for a moment, but he misses the window. Really hiding away against this smoke right now. I think they're going to start to get a bit of an idea. The ADHD gamer in on the site itself, but it's all good. Max goes digging in the 1v3. Why wouldn't you? And gets that 4K overall, in fact, for 9Z to start off here.
Yeah, good start. One that we absolutely can take. I mean, the big issue that you actually see with 9Z has to be over towards that CT side a little bit more. They get pieced apart for me in ways that become very difficult to kind of deal with. I mean, we'll see, right? I think the way I'm looking at things at the moment, though, pistol is good. It's at least putting some of the doubts to rest early. It's going to be a force battle for sAw. They do like them. Whether it's successful or not, we'll have to see. But if it isn't, it should be 9Z taking a 3-0 start, which on Tita does too. We'll absolutely take.
Made minimal damage off the back of it. Gotta know something's on the way. Nice little anti-flash move, but Roman, the MP9 spray transfer, he can't get away. His cartwheel to finish the 2K, I suppose. Could bring sAw only in contention for this one. Story on the scout, headshot and a tag. Looking good. Buddha gets the trades out, so at the very least they have secured the site, it would seem. Still not over just yet, though.
All right, smoke down material is going to play behind this. Won't be able to deny the bomb. Look how low Buddha is, and Wasso's not exactly healthy. Buddha's going to go to probably the best position to play from here. I'd be sending the MP9 in first. There's a bit of a insurance. There it is for the first. Wasso looks for the second as well. He's already made his way out. Window, head spotted. Messy fight. Wasso trying to find to work with, but the pixel works in U-Jerk's favor. Force buy, conversion, successful for sAw. Okay, game on, and this is what I'm expecting in this series. These are two sides who are kind of playing at the best we've sort of seen them, maybe for a long, long time, potentially if ever, as arguments be made. Both of them find themselves top 20 and obviously sAw being top 10 currently. That's a good response. Back and forth, high impact on each and every time. Or immediately going to put a bit of a point to what was 9Z. He looked good out the gate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. But sAw showing what they are kind of capable of, right? I think that there's going to be a real clash here. Almost of similarities. Both these teams have a aggressive kind of backbone, but you have the ability to wind things down and rely primarily on individuals to try and pick up. Roman will start this round off. Immediately, though, we are seeing 9Z play a bit faster.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. Maybe this is what they've talked about and worked on over the course of the break. Really want this Dust 2 to work. That super grind to a halt kind of style. I don't think, as I say, is part of their DNA. Nice little find on the Mac 10. Another one for Wasso, actually, to open up the A-bomb site, so we are back on.
Hello. Buda will get his. This round feels like it's won or lost by Story. Oh, when he gets a little answer, he gets tagged with a smoke. What? Did he get a kill for the smoke? What are we seeing? Oh, hello. Buda. Now with it all to do. Bomb is dropped and Arishdosh just going to wait. He's still got that inkling that it might be a play. Now he's getting noise as well, so he knows for sure. Arishdosh sees it off. And so, survive a little bit of a scare there, in all fairness, but rounds around 2-1. So, should get a freebie of a third here. So, nice way to start off your opponent's map pick.
Looking good indeed. Looking very, very good. 9Z. Still keeping the contest there, I think it is fair to say. You get the flash for the peak. Contact flash, I suppose. Unfortunately, there's a Molotov in the way. So they got to put this on pause for now. Here we go. Here we go. Is it going to work out? Nope, it goes a bit too far behind. I think Roman knew what was coming. He overstays his welcome for sure, but he's done enough there. Get to the information as well.
Sorry. He doesn't actually need to move in a way here as well, right? I think just kind of internally keeping them locked in towards this pit position is the worst thing at all. Especially if they end up staying alive, or if they just go in towards the MP9. Martineza. Yeah, desperately trying to avoid flashes, trying to fight. Not to be seen off, and we'll take that gun back. I'll upgrade to Story. 2-1. Nice work. Back into the buy for 9Z. AK's out. Story will have the AWP as well. So, it is now an interesting thing. We want to see Martineza get active, but he can't go in towards an AWP himself. They don't have the money built up just yet for that. I think in a fair, we're trying to push Story off his, what seems to be an okay form. I mean, if Story gets going, he's very difficult to deal with.
It's true. It is very true. And someone who has been severely missing is the 9Z author, so really could be dangerous if Story can take over the game with no responsive element on the other side. Early spams across here, not netting very much. But there is some, short presence coming in. Story finds that first kill, and they will be able to stick around. Not much resistance.
All right. Well. Story posted in towards short. Bit of a tight angle here, but can make it work. I think offering up, though, for the moment. A little quiet. Smoke going to come down. Roman going to get flashed behind it. Doesn't have to spam either. Smoke broken open. Wants to pounce then, but nothing really being dealt. I say that Story had just the finest of margins to work when he gets his.
Line goes down. See if they can turn it into something. Mutirius waiting patiently out towards long. Finds his kill. Martineza maybe keeping him in it. A couple of missed shots. A well-timed peek. Mutirius to find that kill. It's all onto Martineza. Nice find. But no more. And sAw will roll through to 4. Looking very, very good here indeed. I think this is, again, timeout territory for 9Z potentially.
Yeah, I think we're getting there for sure. I mean, it's nice to get that positive of the bomb plant, some decent kills to come through, but we're still in a bit of an awkward financial state where you could even make an argument that half buying's the best option here to full buy next. Looks like they are sort of going to get into that, right? Yeah, they are going to go for it. So, Galil going to be brought up. DGT is dipping a little bit low. Same with Wasso. And Max only a P250, Buda only a Deagle, and a Scout for Martineza. They've got lost bonus, so we do have money heading in towards the next. This one is just a sort of hope and a prayer, but expectations from us are probably relatively tempered. It's nice from sAw at the start. They're making the hard rounds work in their favor. Everything bar the pistol has been, for the most part, looking very positive for them.
Roman gets caught on the contact. really cheeky move. Will be stopped, but it's definitely something to work with. Mutiris is just half a second late. Could have found one on the way out there. They will fake it out. Potentially move back in. I think they themselves don't quite know yet what they want to do. Just forcing sAw to make a mistake, ultimately.
All right. Nope. Story. Dangerous angle to play from, because the only pixel showing is your head, and that's all that Martineza needs. Now, gun picked up for Wasso as well, but both him and Martineza are low. Not impossible. The short players sort of got to go huge here. The damage dealt. U-jerks. Nose off one. He's actually going to get out in front of this. There's one. Head. Popped up. Extra second as well. The player on quarter sight. Swing. And a find from DGT. Back and forth. Last player is Martineza. They know where he is and they know he's low, so he's got to get active. Oh! Martineza was so close as he plucked Aristosh out of the sky, but it's not enough.
Bro, that would have been crazy. He got a shot off as well.
Yeah.
Got a shot off. You know, if that's straight in the head, that would have been absolutely insane. Not to be, but in a round where not much is expected, and it felt a little weird with them, you know, leaving long, going back to long, leaving long. They get a lot out of it. They get a lot out of it, man. So, really could be something. Timeout being used here by 9Z. It is at that point where they have to close this gap. So, yeah, makes a lot of sense. They take a moment here.
Okay. I think this is a good time to call it. It's not too early, not too late, but I understand probably the situation that they're in, where bit by bit, in the spot that we're in right now, we saw even get 2 more rounds on the CT side, especially if they're soon as well. Might already be talking about this half being more or less chalked up, and we're talking about them being under a lot of pressure, so we need to be a little careful. The flash is over towards long. Triple, in fact, actually. Looking for a bit of early presence towards B. Martineza posted. A smoke will come down. He doesn't take a pop shot, but U-jerks will get caught.
It's a nice find for 9Z. Super clean. Super early. A lot they can do with that. Looks like they want to end B. Now, this is also something we very rarely saw them go B, especially in the rifles earlier on. Upshot rings off. That maybe starts to give the game away for a Rostar. She's looking for a good timing here. Got to be careful. Molotov will force him into a fight. He takes one. I think that's kind of fair. They obviously need a bit more. Mutiris gifted Max's head. Still not in the B bomb side. Still not committed in. Nice find from DGT. Cuts off the rotations and maybe carves a path to the bomb here. Roman is around. Roman could stop it. Go jumping in. Yorp doesn't land the shot. It's a lot of damage done there. So yes, a 2v3, but it's not a bad-looking 2v3 for sure.
Oh, story. You know, even like a quarter of a second off, timing-wise there. Roman does have to go massive. Catches the player swinging. They both run out of ammo. Thankfully, Buddha is there to bail them out. And yeah, I think Story might have internally given this up a little bit. He's over towards that B site. And maybe we can catch one for free, but I don't think he even wants to test those waters. I think it's just about keeping this AWP in play. They aren't broke, but they're not exactly financially super stable either.
No, it is true. It is true. I think it's also that element of, like, it's just not going to happen with an AWP.
Yeah.
So valuable as well. So, 9Z, timeout works for them. It is won by a thread. One more bullet lands on a couple of these players, and it could have been a very different story. But not the case here. We don't work on conjecture. Second round for 9Z. Have to string it into a few more, though. sAw still have a substantial lead.
It's true. We need to see, obviously, the word that we always use out of consistency, but we do need to see it from 9Z. They want a chance. sAw not going to take any chances themselves. So I'm going to go for a pause. And see if they can do what they're hoping for, which is just reclaim some control, make sure they don't let things slip away from what is still a 3-round lead and a relatively comfortable one at that. But pause. About to be concluded, and then we go back underway with a relatively okay buy. FAMAS and MP9 are required, but a double rifle as well. Roman and U-Jerk supports this AWP. It's serviceable. MP9s in the right hands are always super scary anyway. And Aristosh, he's somebody who can get really active. For me, he has been so important to what has been saw's recent and quite monumental success. Especially at times where maybe, you know, U-Jerks, he can be a little bit hit and miss. Having a player like Aristosh, who actually, I think he's super consistent, is always good to see. Oh my.
That's a dangerous move, for sure. Definitely a bit carefree from Rozdosh. Still play at B, though. They're not really wanting to mess with it. The short lurk, as it were. The head. Oh, that is so close. Get it. Smoke goes down, but Mutiris, he gives him a bit too much. Ooh. Story, I thought that was a shot, but not really. Okay, a little weird. Quick switching up. It's thrown us all off, I suppose. 4v3 now, and the bomb has many options.
Buda. Gonna go back in towards upper tons. Denaza. Is a CT smoke going to be thrown here? That's going to give them the ability to wrap. Pop flash through the doors as well, just in case anybody's sitting close right. Obviously, they got a kill from there earlier. All right. Story posted first. Good. Second. Behind it. You're going to go up on high. Story, be careful. He's still doesn't really realize it, but the Lions are smelling the prey around there. He dropped the bomb as well. Just one more on the side to try and find. But he can't hit the shot. He's in the flames. Trying to get caught. And it's all down to Roman.
Might be able to find something here. Only 10 seconds. Bomb's going to get planted, but it does mean the fights are isolated for a moment. Molotov will slow him down. He's going through it. Does not seem bothered. Ball brings it into the 1v1, and he lands the dink with an AK. That is his round. So fair play to Roman. It's a good go at it. Unfortunately, does not get the look. And 9Z, really big round for them. Breaking the bank. This should be a 4.
Yeah, it should be. And for 9Z, get him on a form. It has to be said, being found here by them. They're going to call for their second time out. Maybe just to make sure that they do see these off kind of cleanly and do make sure they're not probably as close as they are. But I think all in all, this is a good spot that they've kind of put themselves in. They are feeling really, really solid in these last few. More than we kind of had out from them when they were 4 or 5-1 down and the rest. So pause concluded. Buy is, yes, that'll be great, is it? Obviously for sAw, their money was in a tough spot. Do you see a scout up a story? I don't know if he's going to keep that or if they're going to invest around him or he's just going to solo scout and then hope he can kind of tag and bag a little bit. No, okay, he's going to sell. I was going to say that felt like a very odd decision if he was going to go down to 500 where the rest of the team kept their HP. Get their money, may I say.
Back up towards short here. Might create an opportunity for at least one. Axe is ready and raring to go. Not standing still here. Makes him a bit harder to catch. Surely a move's got to come in eventually. There's the smoke. They are not budging. Axe will go to them. Spots them out. Oh, but that's the one he wasn't expecting. The burst through the mid doors. Beautiful find. Rozdosh in on B is gathering this information. And they are unable to grab the gun thus far, but I think that's kind of what they're really wanting to go for. Rozdosh dealt with at the back. Or he made it through the smoke. Could again be a bit cheeky, and he is. Wasso Peak trying to spam through. This is getting kind of strange. The fight going down towards middle as well. Bits of damage traded back from the CT side. Mutiris. Oh, come on. So close to catching them, and then Martinezza, he hits the just insane shot that was it really round the corner. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
There you are. Lots of damage from sAw.
Didn't fully look on him, but all right. 1 round game now is what we're at, and it's safe to say this one is looking good. Pop shot with the ult from Martinez. Tries to get someone on the cross, and feeling we're not going to try and fight behind this, but I say that Ujox, it will break open. Just looks for any short aggression. He doesn't stick around for the fight. It's just about sure they get something. Speaking of information gain, they're going to come in behind this as well. Could do a decent shot. One's prepped out, and Max on that creep will catch Irish Dosh, but will he expect Ujox?
The answer is yes. Down Ujox goes, and with him the hopes of the round. 9Z, after the timeout, have turned this half on its head. Turned it probably in their favor, but certainly into something that looks a hell of a lot better. Felt like sAw were really going to run away with it. 9Z, they have the capabilities.
Ooh.
And they have the individuality at the moment, looking great.
Yeah, for sure. Playing fantastic right now. This is good stuff from them. Story, I doubt he stays alive for much longer. He will get his one. He's then tagged incredibly low as they, of course, going to call for a hunt, and I don't blame them. He's dead, surely. 1 player out towards long, 2 coming towards doors, and then they should do the job anyway, and it will. Buddha sees it off. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And that will be this one tied all a piece, 5-all, but kind of most importantly is that once again the economy's in a bit of a bad way for sAw, so it does start to, you know, make it look like 9Z probably get the 6th here, could even be in for a 7-5 and ending this half in their favor, which is something we just don't really see them do on Dust2 at the moment.
All right, another A-sided kind of low buy here. By the same short presence, but I think a nice idea, and I think one that could end up, again, netting some results for sAw. As they have a lot of players in the right place. Nice nade softens them up, though. 9Z, I think, learning their lessons from the previous timeout.
Yeah.
And taking it a bit slower here.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Max will hear a couple. Doesn't opt to go just yet. And actually, his timing is exquisite here. So he moves up short. Should get a bit of timing on at least one. And he will. Story gets caught. They're going to double back over to try and see if they can answer back. And Max is fighting off against a Deagle, but Ujox can't hit a shot. Max can for a second.
From Basso. Looking good here. No real difficulties. Rosdosh still alive. They know he's this B player. So should be expecting him momentarily. Just gotta check your angles though. And Max, punished for not doing so. I'm sure he will not forget that next time.
9Z, take a lead. And we will see now whether they can close out the half in their favor, whether we can see them going towards the second with a lead and a bit of positivity in that sense. Something, again, like we said, we just don't see them do all too often on this map. They've been some pretty unexciting halves from them to start them off. I did say I did worry a little bit about their CT side, though, so just keep an eye out for that for now. But 6-all, I think sAw probably, I mean, okay with it, but generally I think for sAw, the big thing for them is that they were 5-1 up, and now it's them who have yet to get around since 5 in a row for 9Z. So they have, regardless of how this finishes, let things slip away.
Yeah, potentially. They'll be disappointed in themselves for sure. But still another half of Counter-Strike to go. And some flashes of brilliance from sAw, of course, in the early stages. This is the competition we wanted from these squads. Or I suppose can get back into things, Story. He hopes so too, finding that first.
All right. Smoke down over towards CT as they're moving a bit forward. Sort of an opening kill early, and then obviously time pressure definitely on, and a nice kill. Material's just got a gap in that corner of the smoke, and it's beautiful. A flash behind it, and it baits out one man who does get caught. A one-bow combo as Ujerks is the one to confirm the kill.
More coming in as well. Rosdosh, good timing from him on the peak, of course. That ball half long. An inevitable missed shot from Martinezza, unfortunately, in the end. So sAw they do round it off with a little cherry on top, but 9Z, hell of a recovery from them. Very streaky game thus far. We'll see if it continues after the break.
This chemistry, one look at you and my heart explodes. Just let me be the one you keep. I'll be right here through the hot and cold. But I'll be loyal to you. No need for drama. Farewell with you. Cry like Impala. Is it important for you? There ain't no bother. No, no.
Welcome back in, gamers. We are looking down the barrel of this second half, of course. 6-6. It looked at a moment like sAw were just going to run away with things as they won the force and strung together 5 rounds, but 9Z, they managed to pick themselves out of the dirt, and they indeed won 5 of their own in a row. So, pretty streaky game. Each team sort of finishing and ending with a single round. Nonetheless, sAw now have the opportunity on this T side to start directing the game. We'll see as the 9Z Dust 2 were a bit against it. sAw's Dust 2 actually not bad. So maybe this is where they kind of turn up the heat a little bit.
Let's see. Well, tight square though. And of course, this is anybody's game. What have we got to work with? Fighting towards suicide seems to be the first port of the call there. It's an upper B take, but Martinezza waiting. They're not holding for him, and it's a little later. He gets his, gets one. Ujerks, Materials onto Blacker. Still a 3 versus 3.
Holding. Oh, he runs out of ammunition there, I think. And it will cost him, but ultimately looking good here. Rozdosh has to make this cross with the bomb. He will. It costs him a lot, however. So the 2v2 looks pretty damn good for 9Z, if I am honest. sAw in the perfect position as well. Looking to get the peak. Downrange. First comes in nicely. Second one might just join. One more bullet required anywhere in Mutiris. And he does not fancy sticking around. There is a window. If he went for it, he could have made it to be. I think now he will have been heard, and Max should be able to get the better of him in due course.
Yeah. Mutiris, this feels completely like a lost cause. You'd expect anyway. With how low he is, with 5 points, to pull off this would require something quite special. Maybe even a USPS, but he's going to get caught on the crosshair. Oh, hello. Okay, yes, he will. I thought for a second Max was going to look the wrong way. Doubles back. All he needed was a body shot. And it will be a 7th. 90 take both pistols as well. Also something they didn't do last time they lost this. So, again, feels a little better in that regard. And might just be something to consider going forward. But the sAw, the bomb plant, a real buy going to come through here. We see Mutiris picking up himself a Deagle. Ujo's trying to get a P250, but this one should be a little bit of a throwaway. It should be. 9Z. Getting themselves up to a 2-round lead. Again.
Yeah, you would assume so. DGT, a little nervous. Rozdosh, a little nervous. Shot in the back. Never nice to get shot while running away. E250, instant dink. Kind of a weird round here, considering the buy from sAw. DGT got to be careful then. You don't want to be losing anyone early when you've had a player dinked out. Max holds and gets the bomb, kind of importantly. He also takes the dink. Some pretty soft players here. They're all helping each other out, though. And it will be all good in the end. Just the one going down.
All right. 8-6. At the very least, I mean, we're all going to see a buy-in now from sAw. Story going to go in towards the AWP, AKs, and Agulil around that. Double MP9 to keep an eye out for over towards 9Z. Talk about a util 3 kits around it, so definitely somewhat salvageable. sAw need to win this round. I think if they don't, we're talking about 9Z going 10-6 up. I mean, at that point, it sort of feels like it's probably done.
Yeah, I think so. This is a really, really telling kind of round, in all honesty. We'll see. I'm going to tell on it. Roman trying to creep in there, gets pushed back. Story found a kill out middle. Really pivotal area of the map, of course, so it could be pretty scary if 9Z can't find an answer back.
All right. Story. Making a bit of a move over towards long. Will be a slight play as well. Coming through from Kat, trying to draw attention. Max. I feel like if he can pounce for a trade here, that'd be huge. And he'll do exactly that. Brilliant. Keeps numbers level. That's all that they need.
Oh, Martineza, good for one. Traded out instantly. So again, as you're saying, level numbers. The bomb is so far away here, though. Not sure I'm a big fan. This could be somewhat problematic. It limits a Rozdosh. He can't go in too deep. Just waiting for his teammate to join him, really. Max also not wanting to take the chances, but now, next time he peeks in, he's likely to be the AWP. Story takes the Hail Mary run. The MP9 just gets better of that frag. Block out. Unfortunately, Max not low. He was. Could have been a kill. So, pretty important that 9Z get that done. It's very close, but they will keep the winning streak here on the CT side.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They are building up a nice buffer zone to work with. You know, yes, there's a bomb plant out there from sAw, but I don't think the buy is going to be... I mean, my assumption will be it wouldn't be full because they would lack so much util if they went for kind of the AKs and the armor. They are going to call for a timeout to discuss. Not an easy spot, though, that they put in. This is the big thing that we're looking at. And yeah, I mean, credit to 9Z from what has been back-to-back poor performances on this map where they've been read like a book. They're looking a lot better here on a map in which sAw are, generally speaking, actually pretty good on themselves. So definitely feels uncomfortable in that sense. Not how we sort of predicted things to come in, especially considering how things have been. But yeah, pause concluded. We are going for that buy. sAw are going to try and gamble and go for a bit of a Hail Mary, but this is a big call, right? Lose this, and it probably does conclude in them losing the map. But win this, and it keeps them absolutely in the money. So this feels like really for all the marbles.
Yeah, it definitely does seem that way. This could be worrying if it goes south. But you got to put all your chips in at some point, right? You got to make the big play, the big risky move at some point. Once again, up through short. sAw not necessarily mega predictable, but there's not a lot of variance thus far from their side. Play around mid-area again, just contacting in, see what they can get away with, and then burst straight out. It's worked nicely. Martineza, that AWP is dropped without finding a frag. They'll get the bomb plant down. A Rosdosh holding the rotations towards mid, and this is a really nice place to be for sAw. I think 9Z know that, and they're going to save immediately.
Yeah, I think this is honestly actually a really good call from 9Z. It's just not worth it. They don't know how deep they could have put this post part into place, and I just don't think it's worth even having a look in. Lasso will stick around for exit. Oh, story. Nice couple at the end. Aristosh just going to triple check through doors and make sure there's nobody there. Also gets an upgrade as well, I think. I thought there was another M4 down, but maybe not. Away. 9-7. sAw. He said that was a big call to be making. By winning it flawlessly, it massively helps out their situation, helps out the long-term econ, gives them a bit of confidence saying, okay, we can still compete in this. That was a good call from us. We spread them thin and basically get them no way back in towards that map, and that's what you need. Yeah, good work.
All right, let's see if they can keep it rolling, though, is the big question. Pace pick up here in a couple of positions, trying to make something happen at long. It nearly cost Roman life. Meanwhile, pre-fire in, and DGT just survives it. A wild move, though. However, it's creating space towards mid. Maybe this was all part of the plan. They're in quite deep here. U-Jerks. A lot of damage. Finds one, heard the second, finds him two. Ooh, does spot out another and gets his head also. I was going to say, are they ready for 3 on B? Potentially not. Must have been spotted on the mini-map. And a call comes in. So well done from U-Jerks, man. You can see why this guy, again, has got a lot of eyes on him in that Iberian region.
Yeah, exactly. Real nice little isolation in there. That third one. He had like 4 bullets and 3 of them are perfectly placed. Real credit. Real credit indeed. Martineza. Wasso. Just saving. They'll be given that luxury. Not going to go for too much of a hunt here at the end. So, simply put, it is going to be a 1-round game. But the real interesting thing now is that 9Z economically aren't great. We always come back to this point because it's going to have a big effect towards this next round. The buy is probably going to be either one or two things. A force around these 2 rifles and a bit of a hope and a prayer. I mean, even the 2 guys with rifles can't really drop a lot. Or we just full eco around it, buying towards the next. But by doing that, we are allowing sAw to tie this game up, and then we're putting a lot of pressure on our gun round. So let's see. Hence why they are calling for the sack pause. I think this is a perfect time to really have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really tense game. Really close game as well here. sAw definitely capable of snatching it back. The Inferno yes, isn't the map that everyone's talking about when it comes to sAw, but I think it is still such a safe map for this team. So 9Z need this one. I don't see them picking up Inferno, to be honest with you. I think it would be a real surprise, especially with how close this one's coming. You know, it feels like sAw will have that extra edge. On that map, could have been an opportunity for the AWP if he just pulled the trigger. Not the case. Trying to get these empty balls into play. Iris knows what's up. Catches one. He's traded quickly.
Okay. Is that gun going to be recovered? It seems for now, no. 5-7 of DGT, maybe something to keep an eye out for, but they did opt for the lesser bite. sAw took a gamble. The gamble obviously paid off for them. Is car going to get cleared here? DGT, 5-7. They are eyes trained, or at least Roman is, but then he's not. Oh, hang on. You jerks. We'll clear it, thank God. For a moment, it looked like he was just going to be angling over towards Cat and CT and not do the proper clearances. Flashing towards doors. Arishdosh should bottles up Naval. That will be the case. 3 for him. Goodbye. 9-all.
Okay. Getting dangerous now. 9Z, this is where the timeout comes to a head. What have they talked about? What have they got in this back pocket? This Dust 2, we've seen it so much. We have criticized it a decent amount, I think it is worth saying. And 9Z keep coming back to it. We've had plenty of time to sort of work through things at an hour's break. We just hop on, work out a few rounds, work out a secret round that you might have after taking a timeout. A lot of nade damage. Max doesn't want to stick around. Rightfully so, they were after.
Spam from you jerks, just trying to catch anything, just in case they're close. At the moment, Martineza. Aggro move. Molotov will come over. Will they equip anyone close? Now they will. And he's actually in a little bit of trouble. He does have the support, though, which is good. Another molly can come down through, and U-Jerks, I think it's probably wise he just dips away from this. I don't think sticking around and trying to force the fight there is the best option, especially considering he's taking damage, too.
Sorry. Coming for him. He goes in deep, not going to find anything. sAw looking a little stretched out for ideas here. Where do they end up? It looks to be an A play. Oh. Sorry, moving, you know. Netting it good, netting it hard, but thing to move away from short now. So 30 seconds left. Hardly any utility to work with, and they're going to quickly switch things up. In at middle, that smoke is not the best. They're also walking into the brunt of the CT defense here. Bomb hits the deck. They're caught in a fight. It's a bit all over the place. Maybe it can be made to work, though. A Rosdosh with a hero in from behind. Knows the angles. Hears the bullets. He doesn't see them. He hears them. Martineza, meanwhile, will get caught here. I think he will, and Story takes him down. The chaos was enough in all of that. And like I say, the hero of a Rosdosh to come in from behind and save the round.
I can't believe they've actually managed to recover that. So well done. Because, yeah, I mean, sAw looked in serious trouble. That semi to the mid crunch from 9Z is really well done. And, for a moment, it was an awful spot that they were put in. But, yeah, great little display just to make that work in their favor. Stoking. 9, gonna get caught alongside DT. They've heard another in the molly. They've seen it, but you jerks. Thankfully, Roman's there to bail him out.
That's a little wild. But yeah, there is the bailout. And Max is left like, where the hell did everybody go? Ooh, gap on the smoke. Exactly what he wanted. He's waiting for the opportunity. That one's a little better. But still, he's here. Oh, he's moving away. God damn it. Go for it, man. Go for it. 1v5. Go for it. I think he's going to have the top of his head shot off here. Indeed, Roman finds him. So, flawless round. sAw have found that second win towards the very end.
Yeah. Okay. 2-round lead. 2 rounds away. Let's see. What is there even left to work with now for 90 side, who have fell apart a little bit? It goes back to this force buy as well, which sAw made work in their favor, primarily Galil's, and it kickstarted the momentum that they've got here, and it hasn't dwindled since. GC has a little look in towards short. Get a long control of Martineza, but both of them not opting to fight too much.
Nothing coming off the long presence here from the CT side. Or once again looking at their mid-short plays. Been very popular. They've been able to work around it and keep the variance. 9Z this time not really giving them the fights. You know, this is something that they've fallen flat to, is taking some early scraps. Martineza, though, he will have the AWP train. They walk into him. He's, of course, got to find the kill. It's only polite. You jerks the first to fall.
Okay. Here's a big kill to get early. He's obviously primarily the space creator for this sAw side. They do look to him quite a bit. One spotted. AWP gets a tag. They're not going to clear close right, I don't think. Hot flash round. The M4's keeping attention drawn. Story. Did he spot him? Yes, I think Buda made noise. But a missed shot to the pistol, not pulled out in time. Finally, looks like 90 are going to get a round back in their favor.
Mutiris keeping it interesting, though. Get that bomb recovered. Martinez around the corner, finishes him off before he can do any real damage. We are indeed back on now. 9Z keeping them off that all-important 12.
1-round game. Both hit double digits. Both been at a really good spot of where they've had momentum and let momentum slip, and this, that, and the other. And we'll see now, as it gets so close, right toward the tail end, there is no room for error. You've got to be extremely careful where sAw not to let this one slip away. It felt like it was guaranteed they were going to see this off.
Max trained and ready. Smoke goes down, though, and he will pull back. Learning a lesson finally. Rosdosh got to be careful. Traces followed. Could be a worrisome couple of moments here. Minute and 10 left on the clock, and again it is this surrounding mid from sAw, starting now to lose traction and become predictable, I would say.
Max doesn't need to peek too much here. He stays in that position. Let's say no for now. Tip away. It's a very slow round. I think you can also sort of feel just how nervous we are here for sAw. They don't want to make any sort of mistake. 35 seconds, we've got to make a decision.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they've maybe left this quite late. Actually, considering they're now fully a man down. Big nade damage. Rosdosh, though, will catch Buda. Max in a closet, looking good. And they're all softened up. He's going to get them all. 1 magazine, 4 kills. Absolutely wonderful to even up the scoreline.
Yeah, that's so well played from Max there. Needed a bit of a hero, which obviously had a good game as well. And a good time to really come alive. We're tied square. Money's still great for sAw. No issues about investment, but that round and a lot of issues, they just, yeah, they looked, it felt like, they made a bit of a call of let's have a slower one, let's see what we can find. Let's default, basically. But then there was no actual real decision of what do we do to give ourselves space in towards the side. And it obviously just kind of fell apart in that spot. So, yeah, well done. Good reaction. And well done from 90 in the sense as well that they didn't fall for any of the traps. They didn't take any of the bait. So we go again, 11-all. We're getting the full 24, bare minimum. They have had OT on this map already. Is it going to be the case once again? That could be the plan.
Okay, aggression towards long. Keep it simple here. Flashed up on both sides. It's a quick 1-4-1. Rosdosh nearly goes down, actually, but thankfully the flash has just kept on coming. And that's all they wanted, just lay down the law towards long. No real follow-up.
All right. Well, 1-for-1 isn't terrible. It's quiet once again around it. They like this default towards B, and a lot of it's off the back of Story. Spots one there. Flash going to come over. If that repeat again, and if anybody is there, or the Molotov comes. That Molotov would be great if the smoke wasn't placed in front. The smoke, that Molly, you might say, is actually to bait out the fight, but let's get it. Under a minute now.
Not looking good.
No.
This is rough. They have to work their way in with limited space, limited utility, importantly. Just one contact flash to go for it, though. DGT hidden away. Might not be expected here. Trade is there. Nice job on the mission directive, on the role playing from the sAw T side. Bomb plant coming in for the short play. There's not going to be anyone towards short from 9Z, so it would be difficult in the final moments. They've missed the window to catch players getting into their post-plant spots. Story has been heard. Max doesn't quite know where to look, though. This is rough. This is dangerous. Story with a keen find. You jerk should solidify this one. He does. It takes some work. Martinez, he will save. Never gets a look in at the round.
Yeah, a little laboured, but gets it in the end. That should be that. The question is now, what are we going to get in terms of tail end? Because Martinez is actually making it expensive. Not that that makes a difference, but it's good for at least for his confidence. He had a bit of a rough map earlier on Dust 2 specifically. He was, I think, lowest rate was like 6 and 13 or something along those lines. He really did struggle against Apogee. Yeah, good to see him that he's, rekindled that flame, found his form, especially, where he knows Story can be quite deadly, and he has been so far, but it is sAw. Map point on their opponent's map pick. It is 9Z on the brink of going 0 for 3 in the last few days on this, which is pretty crazy considering they're the ones picking into it. Back to the first. Mutiris for the trade.
Flashes towards middle. Mutiris trying to create another frag. One on the end of it, though. EGT, meanwhile, dangerous game here. Story is ready. They're opting to go B while Story has got this line. And they've taken a player out in those tunnels. They feel like the B bomb site is easier, is going to be open. I do think they have the correct logic here, but Buddha on top, not really spaced all that well. The trade just isn't there. He's able to drop back and kind of keep him distracted. He does get dropped. Story, meanwhile, has been clapped in middle, by the way, by an M4. So yes, we've got a bomb plant potentially on the cards, but the fake out, I think they were going to, go in quick. Unfortunately, a failed jump towards window kind of works out. 9Z, if nothing else. Swasso loses his head. Really good damage done, though, to these remaining two players. This is for the game to stay alive. Bomb doesn't have a clear path. Pulling out to potentially go A. That is wild. For Rosdosh, keeping their attention, trying to make as much noise as possible. I think steps have been heard here.
Yeah.
Mutiris is still going to get the drop. Down goes a Rosdosh. He should get the plant. It doesn't matter. He needs the round. He needs the 1v2. Maybe enough of a weird situation created here that he can get it done. The AWP shot is close. Not another ringing off. Steps down below him as well. He's trying to isolate the fights, and he will indeed do so successfully. EGT moving up the ramp. Headshot required, and Mutiris, that's exactly what he's looking for. A couple taps around the corner, hoping that one of them lands, but it won't. And DGT denies him away at the very final hurdle. but a few more suddenly spawn out of nowhere as we get overtime.
Oh, what a clutch that would have been, but DGT here to spoil the party. sAw maybe celebrate a little early, but no, not this time. We go again. Overtime required, as it was as well when we saw them against 3D Max just the other day. Oh, what a game. What a game we are being treated to. Last time when they played against 3D Max, it was 16-13 to 3D Max. They were able to see things off with a relatively clean overtime, and it was in a similar sort of vein. 3D Max had map point in regulation, see it off. Same thing there. Wasso, lucky man to even be alive as he gets tagged in just the corner of that wall and starts this one off at 18 points of HP.
Okay. Generally speaking, it's the team that let the game go to overtime that find the first round in overtime. We'll see if that keeps to the trend here. Any damage onto Mutiris, sAw back to their regular ways here. No real change-ups. Martineza, meanwhile, holding. Roman's made the noise now. Oh, taking the fight. Fancying it, but at least keeping some eyes on the longhouse.
Alright, under a minute now. Sorry. Almost mid. Spots one through those doors, but can't hit the shot. Now his job is window primarily. DGT, his spam good. Mutiris gets caught. Oh no.
Not looking good. Maybe falling apart in the middle here. Martineza as well. Pushing down behind. Has done some good damage. Drops the bomb, you know, buys some good time. 3 versus 2 now, but site itself, of course, not really all that well. Roman trying to get some catches on the rotators. EGT that's close by that might go under the radar. Yep. On some heads, misses his shots. Oh, the flash comes in. It doesn't really do all that much to a Rozdosh, though. He still finds the kill. 2-on-2. Bomb severely ticking down, and they are so far away in their respective positions. Max at long has caught Roman out in the open. He's just trying to survive and wind the spot down. They'll have hits, so he needs to win out a fight. Does well for the first. Looking for the second. Positional change up here and a quick snap for the 1v2.
Oh, Roman. Oh, Roman. That is so well played. So well played. My God, what a game. What a game we are being treated to here. Back and forth. This is two sides at the top of their game right now who are playing incredibly. It's so good to see. 13-12. sAw draw first blood. And towards overtime. My God, what is this we're getting here? 9Z. So close. It's so far. I mean, that's the clutch that sAw would have wanted in towards that previous round in the regulation, but it's, I guess, better late than never.
Indeed, better late than never. As we always say. A little bit of tit for tat once again. Towards the mid arena. So they have a formula. They stick to it. And sometimes they make it work. Other times, I think, just a bit too predictable. But, you know, you're constantly sat as 9Z, like, are they going to do something different this round? Are they going to do something different? Don't rightly know. And look, when it's well bolstered as well, this is how sAw, I think, gains such a strong advantage on their T side, is that it is a really solid default that they have. And 9Z just could not quite compete. Once 9Z stopped giving those early fights, stopped contesting middle, they actually started winning rounds.
That's it. That goes long. Oh, shot. Baited in. Story. Try and get one of his own as well. He can actually stay posted here now if he wants, as Martinez has got the right read. He had the right idea, but he just gets clipped. Oh, what a shot. And Story should get one for free, and he will. I don't know if he was just taking some time there, but he will get caught in a trade regardless. This is back and forth. This round's still on.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Oh, the blow of the smoke. It was close. Roman denies. Just 2 remaining now. And don't tell me we're saving. Oh, my goodness. I think it is just, unfortunately, not going to happen. Might as well. And, you know, the CT economy if you do lose 2 in a row and everyone goes down, it can be a bit rough into that final round. You look at Martinez, he's only got 100. So if they want him to have an AWP especially, then they do need at least one player to save, or an AWP to come their way. That also helps. Oh! Alright,
Okay, alright. Nice couple of shots at the end there. We'll keep that AWP in play. I mean, obviously, money's not really that much of a talking point at this stage. I mean, here, I guess in the other way, the only time it really is if you're continuously buying into an AWP, you can actually be a little lower money, as Martinez sort of is, right? You know, he only had just shot 3K or whatever to work with. But, so 2 for 2 in OT. 2 more is all they need to take this map and start the series well. Wow.
Oh, he gets an opportunity for another, but just can't find it. 4 on 3 now. sAw, after, you know, conditioning in. They do pick up the pace here. Roman. Nade. Could have done a lot. He kind of gives his position away, unfortunately. So, sneaky little move to get round. We know about it. Not looking great, though. Lead blow comes in. Buddha uses it to his advantage. There's 2 breaks of the smoke that we've seen, and they go against the guy that's done it. So, you know, I think that's something that needs to be studied. How successful are the smoke breaks, and now they are fully back into this retake.
Stosh. Tapping. 1. Looks for 2. Only a pixel really to work with on that CT player, but it might be enough for somebody of his caliber. He's just trying to stay alive now as well. He really can't cross the safety, you'd assume, and he will get deleted. Planted. 4-story. All down to him as well. And this AWP has got to go huge first. Great. Second not to be. Time for the retake. Hello. No, he misses the jump. I don't think it's the time. He doesn't. He missed the jump up, so we cannot get that defuse. That is a terrible way to lose the round.
Ouch. Very much ouch. That is, yeah, not ideal. I think it's safe to say. But we'll see if 9Z can bounce back. I don't know, man. It's pretty quick parameters to do so. And now, of course, they've got 3 in a row here now. Timeout coming in from sAw. Ooh, cheeky. Very cheeky indeed. Just let them stew in that.
Yeah. Let them sit. Let them think about what's up ahead. Let the pressure build. Oh, man. I mean, sAw looked great, right? That's it. That T-side was really solid. And we have to see something equally as from 9Z. I don't know if they've got it in the locker. 9Z would require something pretty sick. However, though, you know, both halves were 6-6 in regulation. So in a way, maybe the same way that sAw got 3 in OT, that 9Z can do. I mean, that's probably the cope that they're going to be huffing on a little bit to try and keep the spirits high. But what is realistic is that they are actually backs against the wall a bit.
Martinez going to open up the round, though, sir, and that's actually across the B. It was the only crosser to B, so they are quickly acting upon it. Looking to hopefully find an MTB bomb site. Oh, Lasso. First is ridiculous. If you look at it on the mini-map, it's so far away that spam through the smoke. The second, I think he definitely hears the player coming. Maybe he saw him, like, on the edge of the smoke. Very, very good here, of course. 9Z with fastest round in a long time. They will keep themselves alive here on Dustin.
Roman, guess what? But a big trade. Very good round from 9Z as well. I think, you know, when they are having a bit of pressure on their shoulders, they just go quick. Go for one that they can rely on in a way which is quick, aggressive, get up in their face and make them feel uncomfortable. 15-13, 9Z, far from dead. They're not just going to roll over just yet. And Martinez is saying exactly that with his actions.
All right, maybe we are back on here if 9Z can keep up this kind of form. 2 early pickups. Really, really solid. Not quite as fast this time around. We're not expecting Martinez to find another early mid kill. Want to go B, it looks like. Martinez will keep them coming. Story going to drop. A really nice look. 490. Jerks all creeping in. Will he get checked? Quite work. Center the smoke stuff. 2 for him. Would be brilliant. There's nobody around to support. But a kill at short brings it into the 2v2 directly. We'll see.
Okay. Let's not count this out just yet. I was going to say, just before the double from you, Jerks, is like, we're going double OT, aren't we? This feels really good from 9Z, but this is a retake that does have a bit of potential behind it. Be careful. Yeah, couldn't support his teammate. He now goes in a bit of a panic and a bit of a rush, and he will be clipped. Martinez, a fantastic round from him. DGC, super important double. And here we are. Once again, 1 round the difference. We only go 1 or 2 ways. Either we head to a break before Inferno as sAw take the map, or a second overtime required as sAw look very limp here in this second half of overtime. They've just not really put up too much of a fight.
It's true, but they only need the 1.
Yeah.
So something goes sideways for 9Z, and you know they've not got their early kill this time. Was asking a lot of 9Z to remain ever consistent 3 rounds in a row. They have had some of the luck go their way. Certainly nice finishes from them off the back of the early pickup, but it is worth considering here. A short presence, but not a lot from 9Z.
Max. Holding in case there's a bit of lower tons aggression. For now, that's anything but what sAw want to be doing. They be trying to fight, and it's not been going well, so they're opting now just to similarly sort of slow things down a tad. There too, though. For 9Z, bomb is in the direction of B, but with 45 seconds, you don't have to commit.
It is true. Plateau Peak gonna get the catch though. The one area that is overlooked is
Yikes.
the area that gets abused. That surely has to be it. 5v3 with a B take. There's not many teams in the world, if any, that could win a situation like this.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. This feels nigh on impossible, especially considering the site that it's on as well. B site does do statistically the hardest site to retake, and I think that's going to be the case. Martinez gets a double right at the end, which should really seal the deal. Flash going to come over. Story isn't probably going to make too much of a difference. Constellation kills are one thing. People running out of time. He's got to go now. F1, looking a second, not to be double overtime needed here in map number 1, as these two sides, even in quite literally every single half so far.
Madness. Pure madness here on Dust 2. We did say it would kind of be the map to sort of decide the series, potentially. And it feels like that might be the case. Still not done with that first map. Inferno up next, as you can see. It's hard to say. Both teams have now been in winning positions. Who's deserving of it? I suppose we're about to find out with another out of the overtime. Story trying to pluck someone with this AWP. They are just escaping him right now.
Shot. You'll get it in the end. Nicely done. And well, the kill and the start that sAw have been desperately looking for. They finally get it, but it's double OT. This does feel like basically who's going to have the slightly better CT side or the slightly worse T side is going to be the difference maker.
Max with a nice spam kill. He nearly does go down for his trouble, though. So hanging in the balance here as they look, keep things even. That nade finds him. That's a little unfortunate. To be fair, he was a distractionary element at short, but they probably wanted him alive a little longer. They It's towards B. Osgosh swings in. Dangerous. Be a contact flash on the way as well to help him out here. Time being, just trying to keep presence. Molly comes his way, forces him back. 4v2 though, it looks pretty damn good here for sAw.
It does. It feels like they've got the advantage. They've got this CT round they've desperately been looking for, but then Roman will get caught. That'll change things. So will Irish. Oh, surely we're not talking about a 2 versus 4 conversion. Now 1 versus 2. DGT got to go huge. He's looking for that fight. Smoke going to be met with lead to the head by the hands of Materis. They've been desperately looking for that CT round, and sAw finally get it.
Yeah, man. Better late than never. I think that's like the 3rd time we've said that this series, but here we are. sAw will indeed keep things interesting. If they can string a few together here as well, we're confident in their T side, but super difficult stuff. I think it is safe to say. Where are they going to go with this? Long is successful for 9Z, but no kills off the back of it.
All right. Watch out, Roman. Just having a little look, but of course with 2 smokes in front of him. Nothing really going to be happening. Alto's on just yet. Then he'll get caught. Force the angle a little bit. I just stick around a bit for a fight, and he's trying to break open that smoke ever so slightly to see any information. So far, none, but they are in this direction, so spidey senses tingling are correct.
He jerks. So wants to get aggressive here, and indeed the nades place to do so, not spotting anyone out. Buddha looking to be alive and rush through the smoke here as well. Could be absolute pandemonium. Indeed, they get the kills, but they're left a little worse for wear. Serious not going to be dealt with. However, the player at long is, so it's now a 4v2. Frank coming in, and Mutiris is hard selling this. He'll peek out, loses his life. They were ready for him. Story, nice pickup. Surely no more kills until he makes the cross. You're up on the cart. Dealt with. Okay. Hold the phone. Making the drop down, potentially. Tip of the head spotted, but I think he's been seen as well off the back of that. So it's a difficult parameter to work from. Oh, it's all over. It's all over. Buddha in a goose. Shot comes out. Pistol comes out. He's low and he will fall. Story. A huge 1v4 out of thin air. How does he do it?
I can't believe it. I cannot believe he's got away with that. Oh, and a little bit of BM as well, just to rub it in. 9Z, how have you thrown that? It's a 1 versus 4. Immaculately played by Story. But they just let him isolate fights. Bomb is planted. And after that, that's when the 1v4 starts. So he's got a clock above his head. All you have to do, technically, is just play time. Even just sending someone over towards pit might have been enough. But, oh, what a misplay. What a misplay from 9Z. And what a round from Story. That's one of those perfect ones if they had a pause where you can just make them sit on it off the back of that. Losing a 1 versus 4 post plant. That is, I don't know, that's past the point of, you know, it's unapologetic at that point. And Story will start up this round too.
Yeah, this is really difficult to stomach now, I think, for 9Z. They've had a couple of those moments, to be honest, at the tail end regulation into the overtime. Or just seem to be relishing in the extra Counter-Strike, the competition, and how close it's being brought. Looking for the all elusive 3 in a row. And surely, if they do it a second time, they should be able to close things out.
Okay. Oh, Irish. Gosh, he was a little too confident there. And Max will catch him. Nice shot. Back to the 4 versus 4.
Oh, Martinez will get the trade out here. So, bomb site falling. Numbers looking good. Somehow, U-Jerks is through the smoke. Will go down. There's a bit more chaos coming their way, though. This is kind of wild. 2-on-2 now. Bomb has yet to cross. Oh, the fight at middle. What is going on? What is going on? This is a wild run. Pick up. All onto Roman. He can't get it. And it's a 17-16 finish. So 9Z at least give themselves that.
All right. Thankfully, at the very least, it's a round to work with, but it still is a really decent showing from sAw on a side that they were obviously struggling on to some degree. Obviously, attack timeout now from 9Z. Get one in towards overtime. So we shall see. For sAw, they can also utilize this themselves. 2 more rounds is all they need, and as we saw in that first half of that first OT, they were a little bit better on the T side, so I'm sure they're feeling pretty confident.
Ooh, okay. The action continues here. sAw, yeah, as you say, feels like the T side would be good, but, you know, that was a millennia ago now, bro.
Yeah.
This game has been going on. Each round feels longer and longer. More and more draining. I think we start to feel the fatigue. God knows how the players feel. So, sAw, what have you got cooking up for us? They obviously love this play around middle. This very rigid, very effective default. It seems like they are slowly edging their way towards that as the round goes on.
Terrace. But you told towards short, just a flash to give them potentially that jump up on towards Xbox. Still nothing happened in the early part of this round so far. 110 on that clock. So still plenty of time for sAw, who are setting a slow tempo, as it did actually when they looked a little worse for wear in regulation.
$50 seconds left. Starting to get to go time here, fellas. Rail smoke baits out some utility. Going for both of them, the old trickle smokes. Super, super common towards the end of go. We do know their lineup, so looking to do something similar. DGT. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Flash is also ineffective. There's no one around to really capitalize. They're moving fast through middle here. Max with a good position. Buddha to back him up. This is a 9Z classic. Very similar to the last time out, though. There's a man who comes in from behind.
No.
DGT, though, he's got a gap above the smoke there, and he makes it work. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Huge, huge round from 9Z.
That's great. Again, that gap must have been minute, and it might even actually come off the back of him spamming a little bit earlier, just breaking the top of that smoke open, but oh well, does it work? 17 all. If someone's going to win this in overtime number 2, they've got to go 2 rounds back to back, and well, it is feeling very chop and changey in terms of the swing of momentum, but it's looking very good here. Max for that first. That's big.
It's very, very big. Trade is there, though. You know about Max as well, so fully his days are numbered. Feeling too confident. Smoke comes in. God, it's getting a bit messy over here, isn't it? Mutirius, no way. He's just moving through it. He's waiting. He's waiting. Waiting and waiting. Here's Max stepping. Trying to get the catch. It looks like he might just here. The timing is good. Max thinks falsely that he's safe. Can Mutirius get any more? Yes, he can through the smoke. Martinez also out here. Looking very solid for the sAw end. 18 on the horizon.
What is this game, dude? What is this game? Each and every round is its own mini movie in itself, right? And oh, the position that we're at. It's 9Z again on the back foot. It's sAw again with that point. But again, we asked the question of, can they do it? Because so far, 0 for 2 in map points. Gutierrez sees off the last as Martineza is caught. And I think it's a big sigh of relief for sAw to have this comfort of the map point. However, there's also now probably the other side where it's like, where we failed this a couple of times already. let's not do it again, right? We've been so close and failed. We've done the too little too late now twice as well. Let's do it early. Let's be proactive. Let's get this last round. And see. Maximum once again, as they've been doing all the way throughout this game.
Rosdosh looking for the lower push here. Max is on the way. This could be devastating. Max. Oh, looks to check. Rosdosh just able to get the drop. A sense of timing. Knows that he's probably on the way around that corner. It's a big old kill. It's a big old kill. Denies so much information away. They've lost like mid-presence as well. Very problematic now for 9Z.
Alright, bit of util thrown. Irish Dosh just going to stick around towards upper tons. For him, it's about control. That control's so important. Terrace, a couple of taps. He likes playing around these smokes. I just think opting against not going through it is probably the primary thing. He gets pretty close with the spam on towards Car, though. Towards B. The first. Buddha takes the second. Damage dealt. He looks for a third as well. He now knows there's a couple here. He's going to fight a war on this one. First deal. Damage plot. Darius starts with a big kill. Could be a bomb plant here as well. And it should do. It will do.
Yeah, sAw looking good then into the post plant. Rosdosh finds the first head. There's a fight going out towards Longs. It's a 2v1 directly on the site itself. Story drops DGT. It's Lasso to save it. Can't do it. sAw finally get the leg up over them. 9Z, though, fair competition throughout, keeping it close. It was a super solid start to that game, if you remember, way back when, from sAw. And 9Z managed to close the gap. They do that multiple times. And unfortunately, playing from the back foot a lot, but they still kept it close and a much more system, and it can be really, really grueling playing the long Counter-Strike. But then this is where the differences are. A team like 9Z might argue that that is a good kind of space for them to begin Inferno. I think sAw are starting to push themselves to that higher tier 1 level where you don't look at series as map breakdowns. You look at it as the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, so there again, they are stronger mindset coming into the second map for sure after such a long first. But no more guessing games. sAw starting off on this T side here as Inferno gets underway.
Let's see what we've got, man. Let's see what we've got. All eyes on 9Z, who have obviously had their worries, but what a way to start things off. Buddha gets his and a lot of presence towards B. This feels like a very immediate counter towards sAw. Hey, they know something, but sAw will adapt and double away. But look at this. Productivity from 9Z. They're already halfway down Banana. They're going to flank them here. They should catch them and see the bomb in just a moment. Max will. Thank you very much. Fire by Materis. And his teammate might follow too. It's scrappy, but he gets it.
That's the bomb as well, unfortunately. So, yeah, totally caught off here. Blocks could find a couple of heads, and they do in their respective locations. A little bit more work to be done. Oh, they're giving it. They're maybe giving it. I think the bomb retrieval is certainly possible here. Huasso just flies straight across. That's maybe indeed what they call a Huasso peak. And they will clean it up in the end, not getting too overzealous there with the peaks, giving a bit of respect across once the kills came back in, but just that initial move was far too effective.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So 9Z start well. However, it did start well in towards Dusty. We can see a very early attack pause here. Okay, so I think Aussie part of this is probably just to discuss what actually went wrong there, because it was just one thing in particular. They just actually didn't expect to see anything in the region of that sort of, fight at that time, right? Immediately what happened is they go over towards top B, they take a bit of engagement, they lose the first life, and they just, in their own mind, okay, let's dip away, let's go and test over towards A, let's see what's going on there, and this, that, and the other, and they just don't expect, like, why, a team's surely not going to push down Banana at this point, and 9Z just do something that's a little bit unexpected. That's a bit of that South American flair for you, so just a moment to converse before we go back underway. sAw Little investment, just one Tech 9 and one smoke.
Yeah, not expecting too much out from this. They have a lot of presence in apartments now. So it is potentially just this sort of burst out waterfall, as they call it. Smoke comes in. Maybe not too deep, but it's enough to turn them around in towards short instead, bursting out of boiler. Same kind of logic, hoping to overwhelm, trying to get a bit of a catch in, but fortunately not going to happen. I think we may well have hit a bit of a game crash there, unfortunately. So hopefully not too long of a wait.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike 2 still delivering a few issues in places, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
it's all happened to you. It'll happen to us. You know what I mean? It's bound to, right, at some point. So, yeah, you hate to see it. Hopefully, yeah, we'll get back on the way. Like we said, I mean, if we're ever going to crash, it's kind of the perfect time to crash, right?
True.
It's basically a non-existent round. The best we're possibly talking about is sAw winning, getting a bomb plant, but not winning the round, but just having a little bit of extra cash on hand, and that's really about it. So that round was always probably going to be, for the most part, pretty non-existent. It's actually the next gun round that's the most important thing. That's where we've got to hope to see potentially, a little bit of something out from sAw. We hope for that they can answer back and start to find form. The way they found form in Dust 2, especially in that second half, was they won a force, and then they got going. This time they opt against it early and towards the game. I think it's the right call, and I think maybe that's where we can see there's something. We're underway into the first gun round. As expected, sAw did not win that no-buy. Will lose U-Jerks early, but then Wasso beat that T, trying to popularize a bit, and Roman will get one of his own on towards the Orpo, who just panics.
One plant coming in. So sAw will make themselves known in this first buy round. There you go. Save coming out from 9Z. Well, it was like we were never away, I suppose. Pistol indeed is good from 9Z, but they're not really able to give us too much in this one. A very quick round coming in from sAw, though. As I mentioned, I think exactly what they would be trying to go for here. Dangerous moves now for 9Z. They've got to find a response.
Okay. Nice save. I mean, I don't think it's the worst call. They don't have that fully fledged econ and all the rest, but saving the MP9, you could question that a little bit, but I guess it's probably just because Buda was so low. It's just internally more of a, what if? Like, what am I actually going to do here? Speaking of crashes, though, we do get that once again. So, yeah, apologies for that. We can just, I guess, hope and wait and get underway when we can. But it is a big round for sAw to be taken, at the very least. You could question that a little bit, but I guess it's probably just because Buda was so low. It's just internally more of a, what if? Like, what am I actually going to do here? Speaking of crashes, though, we do get that one. But them, that's going to give them some comfort here, right? And, of course, it's not too expensive either. So it's going to give them a bit of stability in the long-term funds, going to give them an easy rebuy back in. But that's technically speaking also a bonus buy for 9Z. So it's not one that they come in and they're sort of expected to win, or it's the end of the world if they lose, because they can buy back in. I mean, even if they went down to 2, for example, they could have still reinvested in with the funds they had left in arrears. So they're sort of chilling.
Yeah, hopefully, I think they will be all good getting back into things. But I think that, again, sAw are bringing this kind of energy from Dust 2, trying to continue it over and just pick up where they left off, which, yeah, it's going to be hard. 9Z have got to, I think, just keep the competition coming and not let these rifle rounds really spiral away from them. Early timeouts, things like this, show a lot of respect. Of course, your tournament life on the line. They are back into it. Hopefully, touch wood, cross your fingers. It is all good now, but not all good for the side of 9Z. Looking very, very strong, of course. They will keep the advantage. Fast Sophie. The double. U-Jerks making a meal out of that. A nade. Didn't quite go deep enough. He will get shot in the back, so Again, another pacey round, but this time no success for sAw.
Yeah. All right. 9Z onto back. And it will mean that there is a slightly interesting situation here in terms of the funds, because you've got like 3 players who can really comfortably buy, Ujix who can just about buy, and then Aristos who can't buy. So it's, do you go with the majority here? And I mean, in some cases, that's probably the right play to do. Aristos is generally, especially on T side, not the most impactful player. I think it's just making sure that Ujix make sure he has an AK and head armor, and then that's basically all is sort of needed, and give him the support in that sense. So we'll see. For now, it looks like these crashes feel a little persistent. You hate to see it, but we do have the match paused, I guess, in this sense. So hopefully we don't miss anything. I think that'll probably be the case. And I guess with the match pause, they can actually give us a bit of time to fix, whatever's going on, really.
Yeah, I've kind of been running into this issue a little bit where, like, maybe something similar where, like, the Steam just sort of disconnects fully and, doesn't want to reconnect itself or whatever. I'm not sure if it needs a bit of a hard reset, which is kind of a problem. So, hopefully the server paused for us while we get it sorted, but we are at the behest of the technology, unfortunately, and, not really in our hands, and I think it seems also production kind of out of their hands as well. So we ask you kindly to bear with, and hopefully it won't be too long, but we keep getting in there. We're getting little drip feed updates of what's happening, so we can at least sort of keep up. And so far it does feel like a lot of these rounds quite flat, just very, very predictable stuff. There's nothing too deep in there, and ultimately one team just finding an easy kind of victory. I think, again, they're getting very, very tired. They just need to get into the role of playing Inferno. How do we do that? How does it function? And kind of reminding yourself, very different map, of course, from D2. So, feels like we're maybe not missing, like, the best Counter-Strike in the world. So there is that at the very least, I suppose, as kind of a silver lining. But where we had left off, sAw, I think, again, maybe not the most creative T side from them thus far. And a very, very readable A play coming in. We saw 9Z set up. We saw 9Z rotate early. And, there was no getting into that A site.
It's true. It's very, very true. I mean, at least 9Z out the gates do actually look pretty clean so far. We know this is a map in that we've kind of touched on it, that statistically it hasn't really been kind of flourishing for them. It's not exactly been one of those that they've been kind of loving in a sense. And obviously the results have been showcasing that. Right? The 1 from 5 is definitely not where you want to be. But at the same time, it is Inferno. It's fundamentally quite simple. It's a map in which we don't really see all too much new on in that way. And I think because of that, 9Z sometimes can just fall back on the fundamentals or fall back on the mechanics and just hope they can hit their shot. And especially, Ujix in his first few rounds has looked, a little quiet, in all fairness. He's 0-3 heading in towards that 4th round. He was definitely looking a little worse for wear in a sense. So you at least have that kind of going for you, that potentially you might just catch the source out a little bit napping, a little bit off guard, a little bit confident in their sense as well. And then things might drift. We still are waiting though, and I guess while we're waiting, we can have a look at kind of what's going on over towards the other match. And I've been sort of checking in a little bit. Bait took map number 1, right? And it seemed to be what was actually a pretty, very, solid game out from them. Just a classic Bait, 13-10, looked really good in the first half, and then just did enough to close it out in the second. And now 10-all in towards map number 2, into Dust 2, our favorite map at the moment. And that one seems very back and forth, but Bait have just taken an 11th, so they're on track for that 2-0 and actually guaranteeing the spot. Winner of that game does book their spot to Kato, and then 3D Max dropping towards the lower bracket final tomorrow to take on the winner of our game.
Yeah, man. I think should be a really, really banging final day, of course. Just going to be the one stream for that, so you'll be able to keep up with all the action pretty easily. What are we saying? We got kind of a favourite to get the spots out of the 4 that remain? What do you think?
I mean, for me, I would probably, if I was going to throw any of them out there, I would probably say Bait and sAw, the 2 I'd go. I feel like Bait can beat 3D Max. I think actually currently, as much as 3D Max have had this sort of LAN experience recently, and a lot of people who maybe don't watch Tier 2 as much as kind of we do would probably say, 3D Max, right? They've just had Pro League, for example, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, like for me, it's definitely where I think this is kind of bait territory. Online, in the current form that they're in as well, I mean, they just look incredible. MPL calling, he's been playing fantastic. Headtrick's been fantastic as well. Ascenthial, who's somebody who I didn't really know before he joined the side properly, has really kind of found his form too. So for me, Bait feel like they should beat 3D Max in my eyes, and then to get that final spot, I would probably expect sAw to win this, whether it's in 2 or in 3, and then also beat 3D Max. However, it was 9Z that managed to reverse sweep. I would then say 3D Max have the advantage.
Okay. See how that pans out into tomorrow, but we still got to decide who makes it through here at the moment. See. Very, very good. Rostos trying to chase them down. He does so successfully. So much noise with all the utility. Able to bring another one to heal, but of course, numbers still favoring 9Z.
Okay. Bam. Through that smoke, it's Roman, who comes out on top as DGT. Going to be caught. Molotov now to try and slow down. Oh my god, we're peeking into an AWP. No! When he jumps across. Thankfully, the flames is sort of the main thing that keeps him safe there. What is Roman doing? He's going, hey, that's what he's doing. I think Arteza heard a step there, but it might be relayed that, oh, he's actually in that CT smoke, or he's somewhere around that. I don't think they've realized he's actually just hightailed it over towards the A side, so bomb will go down.
Okay, I mean, they'll take that at the very least. He might actually be able to kind of clutch up here. Seems like he has baited the plant. They're both coming in from that angle, so I think they're pretty quickly going to discover that there's actually nobody in library, nobody out at long. Smoke goes down. They're still maybe slightly confused here. Hold on to the bomb from Huaso. Roman. Yeah, gonna get the kill, but just can't deny the bomb. Defuse. We'll lose it out. Still, I think they'll take a plant off that. They'll take some good damage as well.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's maybe the, in quotation marks, we'll throw out the silver lining, but I actually think he does too much. He overcomplicates that situation for me there. It's the real difficult thing. He goes looking over towards Boiler and trying to see whether they wrap via banana side, but they just drop a smoke on it and defuse. I think when you go for that plant, for me, the best place to always play it is actually in towards picks. You've got that slight slit to work with that gives you a bit of an advantage if you're down in big pit. Doesn't. He goes for, oh, they're going to expect this, so I'm going to play elsewhere, and just stick it. Throws them fakers. The age-old saying goes, but in this case, it was the adequate one.
All right, let's see. sAw going to have to start to put something on the board here. 9Z are in prime position. Make us question the outcome of Inferno. All our opinions, I suppose, were pretty solid in favor of sAw. And now we need to find out what this team is indeed made of and whether they can deliver. Martinez around the corner, unable to find the opener. Continues to elude him. Got to be careful here, playing with fire. Playing with fire. Contacting through. He will get the kill onto Usirius despite a well-timed peek. Lasso dealt with quickly. They're in towards pit, though. He's got to be known about. He is indeed down. He will go. The AWP. It's given a bit of an opportunity, but they blast him away through the smoke. Bomb plant coming in. Man advantage secured.
Okay. 2 versus 3 for sAw. Is this just a call away? It is. I'm going to give it up. I think that's probably smart from 9Z. I mean, unfortunately, no matter what site you're on, 9 times out of 10, if you're at a numbers disadvantage, you just don't give the retake a go. This is James Counter-Strike, but it is just statistically the way to play it, unfortunately. That is how CS is played in the modern day. You can't really give these a go. They don't have the luxury of looking in here, and especially retake with an AWP, something they can't reinvest into. And speaking of, right, I mean, they've got to actually keep these two alive, especially on these two players, to have any sort of investment. There's money to work with. DGT, there's a little bit of fun to Wasso and potentially some drops to come through. And I think probably 9Z actually just have to force it regardless. Buddha and Max are in double eco territory, so they don't really get too much of a choice. That they have to actually sort of reinvest into this, or else their economy is going to be all over the spot. It's just about what they bring to the table. Max drops over the AWP, he'll pick up an MP9. Wasso gets an MP9 as well, double M4. It's as good of a buy as they possibly could have got out of this situation. But for sAw, this is a great opportunity. Take this, economy broken, 1 round probably means a tied game off the back of it.
Yeah, really can close this gap fast. sAw going to know it as well. Opting to their best foot forward and pull out one of their smarter rounds, you would assume. Again, it starts off relatively slow. The trading of utility, tiny bits of damage done in Banana. Not much else to speak of, really. So what are they going to do towards the end? Saving a lot of utility here on the sAw side of things, however. Flash out gives them a chance, but doesn't really create very much. Martinez a tiny bit of damage off the back of the nade. Tiny bit more damage. He's not bothered. He's going to keep peeking in. Now gives up the position, but still pretty confident to play around these sightlines on the A-bomb site. What does sAw do with this position, however?
That's the question. There's the question. Let's see what the answer is. Tenaza. Go back in towards mid spots, nothing. Dip away from that, and kind of immediately his internal clock, or I guess sort of instincts, are saying they've got to be going B. No one's pushed up A on any sort of contact play here. This has got to be them lurking behind our CT smoke on B, but he's got it wrong. Might be backing back over in a second. First fight, not great. Second is good for Aristosh. That should be the round here. Materius is sort of the insurance policy in towards library. A 3 versus 3, and also U-Jerk's the insurance policy. If they go through mid, as he's in, Boiler, it's a tough one to clear because it's left eye peak, so advantage is not in the CT's favor, but it is an MP9. Right hands could be good, and Max, make sure of that.
Looking good on the retake. Got a deal. The Rosdosh, though, he's got good timing. Catches one. That's all he really wants. He doesn't want to get too crazy, and they give up the chase. They're going to bail and go for the save. So, yeah, just not feeling confident in their position, really. Rosdosh does so very well. Obviously had to take a fight, really. I think he was going to go down to the bomb, even if there was, like, no resistance. I don't know that he makes it far enough away. You know how these blast radiuses are on Inferno. But sAw, with the all-important, as you said, now allows them to, in theory, close the gap. We'll see what 9Z do.
Yeah. All right. What is the decision, 9Z? I mean, my assumption would actually just be a little bit of a half buy, stay above 2K. So maybe like, you know, or like in and around 2K. So I was going to actually probably assuming that Max would go into a 5-7, but even that is too big of an ask. It is just going to be a complete eco, bar the investment, just one smoke picked up. Keep an eye out in this round as well. Buddha, only one with a kit. If he's caught on the wrong site, or if he falls and it's not collected, it's going to make retakes now and impossible, and that would probably be the case as well, considering the buy. He's over towards B. Now U-Jerks doesn't spot anything. Nate, the bank over towards sandbags. Martinez with his AWP. He's got a good advanced angle here.
Yeah, he's been liking this one throughout the game, to be fair. So he'll take it again. He knows as well that maybe the sAw protocols over here are not that sound to actually clear this angle. Hoping that that is going to be the case once again, but pretty heavy pause here from sAw as they are just trying to force a peek out from somewhere. Martinez, he's going to be the one to do it. They know the AWP is here. They know that often in these types of situations where it's probably going to be a save around, even if it is a low buy, the AWP's going to have to do a lot of work. He's away from the flash, and that will be his downfall. That's much better done, but of course it was a change-up in position from Martinez. Just now, Wasso on the USP. He tries the battle cry as he rushes in with the USP, but of course it is very, very weak. Nothing he can do. Buddha to save his M4. The rest of the squad probably try and find this AWP if they want. Or is it just kind of protect the president, really?
Yeah, that would be my expectation. just going to keep hold of this M4 for Buddha. And, of course, I guess for him, it's the other thing of he's got armor, hasn't taken any damage. Also got a kit too. Just small things that for the CT side, not having to invest into is a luxury in a way, right? That CT economy can be so feeble at times, as 90 have obviously seen in this bump. So, as we said, if they had won that round where it was a bit of a half fight, they really hurt the econ out for 9Z. And, well, of course, we've seen ramifications of it. This game's tied now. So Bytes come back in place for 9Z, and a similar sort of conversation for us to have as we enter in towards this round, where we have to discuss that if 9Z lose this, the economy once again gets shattered, bar Buddha, of course, as he obviously saved, but economy is in a really tough spot, and in doing so, that means sAw get 5, and then most likely get 6, right? And I think getting 6 on Inferno T side, that's good. That is a successful first half of Counter-Strike on a map which is ever so slightly CT-sided, but more teams have comfort on that CT side. So the sAw, they're very close to kind of getting step number 1 checked off and proceeding forward. Just to mention as well, while we've got this end of the attack pause, so over in that other series in the upper bracket, it's gone to overtime, 13-all currently in map number 2 of Dust 2. So Dust has a little bit of an inkling for overtime at the moment, it seems.
Indeed. Everyone equally good or equally bad on Dust 2, I suppose, is the case.
I think ours was the first one, I would say.
Yeah. It's going back. For a little while, it was a bit fun, it was a bit fresh, and now it's been going back to, hard, chill rounds, not doing anything for a while. So we'll see. Max with the double kill. Keeping Inferno fresh. 9Z, of course, they need this. They take the time. And it seems to have worked.
Okay. Slow. Off the back of the opening 2 not going your way. And honestly, the awkward thing about that is just they just don't really deal enough sort of serious damage, I guess you could say, over towards 9Z, where it's like, this is how we're going to find our way back. This guy's low, kill him, and we get our opportunities. They've just got to take fights from a 2-man disadvantage and hope they can go in their favor, and that is a absolutely sumptuous one. He's open.
Yeah, fully. That's kind of wild. 9Z dropping the ball for sure. Max, don't do it. Oh, no, he's found. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Stepped a bit too early, Roman. Turned. I thought he'd maybe found the gap as Roman gave up the watching smoke. Can't win that fight, though. That's all in the legs. It's going to be down to just story here. Trigger discipline pays off. Just have the bullets available in the magazine. Oh, I select the fight. Gusto. Oh, gets the recock. I don't think he had enough time on the animation to get the shot out, but they have turned that into a damaging round at the very least. Still 9Z. A timeout. It pays off, and they're back in the lead.
Yeah. Story, of course, he pulled off that 1v4 that, ultimately we could say be one of the key rounds that gave sAw that first map. And, well, it was close to that 1 versus 3, but not to be. By 4. 9Z. Take that lead back, and not only that as well, they give themselves an opportunity to break the economy, which actually could guarantee them a lead heading in towards the half itself, which I think is, again, all they could ask for. I said to sAw, you generally want to be looking for about 6 rounds on T side. 9Z, be happy with a little lead. How this map is played out. Chunky nade, though, into Max to start.
Yeah, they'll take it. Unrealized damage at this point, but something they can definitely work with into the latter stages. Fake out towards A. Trying to play things nice and slow around this rotational T side, right? So absolutely need to stay hot on the heels here in a really pivotal round. The money remains low for both. So, not wanting to take too many chances in the same vein. Sending a Rosdosh on the hard contact. Oh, Martineza will delete him into the next round.
We saw now that this number disadvantage off the back of, I guess, an okay start with an 8 damage. Where are we looking to finish it? Bomb collected, and it's going to join up with the rest of the group in a... It was the wrong call for a minute, and again on timing. They've been very lucky with timing, so it's going to be the right call here. Motos weren't going to come through. This might bait back Martineza, but he might be too late, and he will be too late. Wasso's going to go for 2 at the bare minimum, and he can't. Just a consolation of the 1. Oh, speaking of the Moto smoke, it didn't connect, as you can see. But it actually works in Story's favor. How?
Madness. Absolute madness. Saw indeed make it work. Get a key swing round here to keep this game close. No squad really able to gain firm control of the game thus far. And once again, we might be in for an extended showing here, Neo. Potentially already overtime is on the cards for me. Like, the way that this game is super back and forth.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. This is a very close game between these two. This is what we want to see as well. It's competitive, it's enjoyable, and it's tough to call. And it always did feel in the 3D Max saying that 3D Max were the better side, and I guess for the bulk of the series, same for 90 in the previous series against Apogee, right? But this one, from the jump and all the way to the end of Dust 2, and even now into Inferno, it feels so difficult to call. See, though, bit of a weird bite for 9Z, double MP9. They lose this one, their money then getting broken. Of course it would. Probably give sAw the lead heading in towards that second half, which on a T side of Inferno will be massive.
Here is. Let's just flash in. It's perfect. That's the first, not quite the second. They know about him. They've got an advantage elsewhere as well. I think Wasso is also known about, so plenty of information. Oof. Well, there's the man advantage. That's a quick switch that wasn't supposed to happen, I don't think. Rosdosh just trying to run rampant around in the apartments and really throw them for a loop. Meanwhile, they might revisit the B side of things. Opting against it. Going to stick to A bit more room to work with.
As it goes a little quiet, with a slight advantage. This is one of those advantages that can very easily slip because of how low they are. MP9s can rip. And Wasso shows why. Story, he's going to be the one to peak. That's a wild send him into the U-jerk on that corner. And this round's falling apart. U-jerk is looking like 20 seconds, I don't think. The flash will probably indicate there is one more. He's running low on ammo. He needs to tap and he can't. Big one for 9Z to be taken. For 3 versus 4 with a bit of damage dealt towards them, that's a really nice recovery.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Again, just showing the back and forth in this game as it continues to bounce around. Either team displaying dominance. Maybe this is a moment to do it, though. 9Z going to have themselves really, really advantageous buy comparatively. So what have they got up their sleeve? Any pocket rounds for a moment like this?
All right. Well, safe to say a lot of onus on Materis, who is barely alive. Barely alive. And also 2 and 7, so interesting to make him the one to be wielding the AK in this spot.
There's a flash around the corner. Just to slow them down, actually. Not going to peek off the back of it. So firm long control for sAw. Could do a lot with this. And indeed, why not? Round like this. Let's just go for the wacky B play. Rosdosh trying to sell that it's still A. You know, one of the smokes of all time. Buddha not buying it. Still loses his head. Max that comes in. for the trade. Still not ideal, though. 3-on-3, CT cut off. You know, it's obviously the key rotational area, and still not fully sure if there's someone around, if they are committing B. So a lot of time here for sAw now as that bomb goes down. It's going to be a quick old retake from 9Z.
All right, Terrorist, with how low he is, will he have the impact? That's the big question. I think it goes without saying, I feel like a lot of this has to come down to Roman, surely. With this Khalil, first fight. Oh, it's so good. He lines them up. It's so good. And the Mac 10 does so much damage. Roman cleaned it up, and it's a 6-all half. Back and forth, as Dust 2 was. We'll see if this continues after the break.
So you say you got a new one. I know that you're trying to believe that you can fake a whole scenario just to make me jealous. Your shadow keeps talking, and we should stop talking. But we got that special something. Say it like you mean it, I won't fake it and believe it when I see it. But for now, I just be breathing, doing nothing. I won't give in if you won't make a move right now. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. You should let me know. Oh, I'ma be clear now. Patience is really not my key, but if you play your cards right, I might just think about it twice. Yeah. Say it like you mean it, I won't fake it and believe it when I see it. But for now, I just be breathing, doing nothing. I won't give in if you won't make a move right now. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, now it's busy. You know we always can go easy. We can go easy, boy. You should let me know. I've been giving clues and you're acting all blind. Trying to make some moves, but you're staying behind. How come you don't get it when I say it like that? Like that, like that, like that. I've been giving clues and you're acting all blind. Trying to make some moves, but you're staying behind. How come you don't get it when I say it like that? Like that, like that, like that. Oh, why do we go 360? You're hesitating, always busy. You know we always can go easy. Won't you let me know? Why do we go 360? You're hesitating, always busy. You know we always can go easy.
Dead even, neck and neck, all to play for here, and Neo has updated me kindly that the other series being pushed to 3 as well. So the spots are hotly contested in the ESL Challenger Katowice qualifiers. This is very much looking to go all the way. It is a question of whether 9Z can give us another long showing. Maybe this T side is a complete flip for them, but this is where, again, we expect sAw to really start playing an A game. One of their decent maps, some really big scalps taken on this. They picked it up as a punish, and I think they are a pretty good CT side team when they get going.
I agree. I agree. This is a big pistol round, though. Pistol rounds have not actually been too kind to sAw so far in this series. They've really had their issues with them. They've looked a little worse for wear at times. See? If that narrative continues, Roman drops the smoke, beckons back the support of his teammates via CT. It's actually not going to be a commitment by 9Z. They go looking early, but they just fall away. But doesn't feel like the bomb wants to rotate back over towards A. It's still, with it lingering in towards bottom banana, feels like that's where they want to go.
Yeah, it feels like it might be the play. sAw actually pulling away from it as well. Just leaving the Julies here. Roman on sort of a spot. I think he wants to take on and then drop back. But he's alone. Oh, he hears them coming. Yeah, he's trying to get into a good spot. Not going to happen. Really underestimating how much time he actually had available there. Jerks is here in good time, but not enough to stop the bomb crossing. Got to be careful of the church angle as well. Plank comes in, or he loses his head, as does Jerks. Looking very good here for the Glocks. 9Z just have to hold. No madness. They are sort of 3 players right now. There is a long old flank coming in, which is certainly a strange one. Mutiris can't capitalize against 2. And unfortunately, Rozdosh does not know where to look. 9Z will take it.
Yeah, pistols aren't actually very good towards sAw. They've actually really looked a little worse for wear. I mean, I know that obviously they want the first in towards this one, but that is still 1 for 3 across the series. They've definitely had their issues. And that one in particular was actually quite a tough watch. We are going to get this force buy, though, going to come through. Bold call. Because lose this, 90 not only go 8-6, they probably go 9-6. I feel like you force buy a pistol and I can accept it if you've got a wealth of a lead. If you don't have a wealth of a lead, it feels extremely brazen. Even if they do win it, it's just, you know, the risk that you put out here on one round where you're basically relying off the back of an MP9 and a few pistol shots is pretty massive. Jokes, though, will get the first. A double nade, and Win and Roman timed expertly isn't a bad way to start things off. And there could be a gun to go and collect there.
Definitely possible if they want to go for it, but they are indeed opting to drop back, bolster up the A-bomb site as well. This is the correct read. The numbers look good. Mutiris has got this MP9. Could be difficult for 9Z to get in. A lot of utility still remaining for them. Opting not to use it, though. They will sort of contact utility, as it were. Usually you expect this to come from a bit further away, so could catch sAw off with the timings. They are acutely aware. On top of each other at the worst possible time. Jerks comes through that smoke at the back. Still a couple more to get through here on the site itself. DGT does well. Jerks with a dink at range there on the CZ, I believe. Finds himself an AK. A MAC-10 retrieved by Roman. This is still definitely on. Bomb's only just gone down. Low HP bars, they could melt through these.
It's true. Roman, MAC-10. Blow yourself. Well, actually, gets the first. Jerks can get the second. Oh, good round. Big force buy to be taken. Like I said, the risk and the reward, I mean, it pays off in this instance, but my God, you lose that. You really are putting it up to basically a few or a couple gun rounds at the end, but all that matters is that they do take it. It's very expensive. It does mean that a big reinvestment is needed back in, but also the question over towards 9Z, with that bomb plant, do we also fully reinvest as well? If it's Hero AK, that's relatively common. A full buy, though, it is generally seen as the standard 9 times out of 10 to go for a full buy, just because you match force buy with force buy. The only real difference, I guess, you can make as a slight argument is that because they did get a bomb down, they're actually all in the region of kind of the mid 2Ks to 3Ks, which meant they have a full buy next with util. Some teams might have attempted to be a little bit more passive here, but they're actually going to hope this Hero AK from DGT can give them the round.
Early nades ringing out. Lots of damage done onto Budo, of course. And Z is probably going to be another contact play at the end of the day. They don't have too many other options. Max making noise in banana. Hoping someone gives him a peek or, again, expends some utility. Not going to be the case. Ooh, edge spotted. GT does well. Trade's not really there. He takes a fair amount of damage. Nades go raining back in. They are sort of panic rotating here. Is the bomb going to follow up on that? Tough to say. It looks like not. And maybe with a lack of presence, they will rotate back around. I think there's good information here from Rozdosh. Finds his kill, and he also says, listen, I don't see anyone, I don't hear anyone. More and more ready now for the B hit. Mid spotted, nobody there. Utility comes in, but feeling pretty confident about themselves, I would imagine, on the sAw side. Trades thick and fast. Max with the Tech 9, keeping the dream alive and forcing them back. So, one flank comes in, another retake required.
Yep. A bomb plant out of this. Not bad, and a rifle picked up too. Ain't the worst. Smoke on CT. Fades. Max. Not gonna peek. This is doable. It very much is. DGT's low. They're playing a contact play here. Aaron dodge. Turns his head, but gets his kill. DGT will trade. Ujux. He has the HP advantage. Just about, can he hit the shot? Can he push him off his angle? Yes. Yes, he can. Has a kit. Has the round. And sAw have the lead.
Yeah, man. Fighting tooth and nail for it, but they will indeed take it. And a really, really big turnaround from them. Plant is there, but it's still not really a condition in which 9Z would want to buy. Gonna go for it, though. They're gonna go for it. Ooh, this is risky. I mean, sAw win this out. If they deny the bomb plant, yes, the loss bonus is stacked up. But if they deny the bomb plant in particular, I think 9Z can't do anything apart from half buy. Unless they really want to keep on it. Still, it is a realm now where sAw can find themselves double digit if they win this round. I don't know if I agree, sir.
True. I think I'm actually with you here. This feels like a real bold call. I can understand the force in that previous round. Force when you lose against a force, but forcing when all you do is get a bomb plant. I mean, yes, they got 4 kills, but it doesn't exactly justify this level of investment. Double Mac 10, double Galil, single Tech 9. It's even to the point that if you lose this round, for example, without a bomb plant, it's probably sAw going 10-7 up.
Yeah, I think so. Worrying, very, very worrying indeed, but 9Z surely have got something planned for this. sAw are putting a really strong wall up. Not afraid to take the fights. They know that it is down to be a scrappy one from 9Z. Story unchecked will clean up house. That's the lack of bomb plant we were talking about. Really great spot now for sAw.
Yeah, exactly. Lack of bomb plant, lack of kills, lack of money heading into round number 17. sAw should get double digits here. You'd expect for the most part, without breaking too much of a sweat, considering as well. I mean, maybe I always actually like this is like the perfect time for me where I always look for teams to do Tech 9s, but we've got just the one on Wasso, a few P250s, and a Deagle. This is like the perfect Tech 9 rush round, and hope to just barrel in towards B or pop out a barrel, something like that. But looks like we're going to play basically a default, in all fairness, with a low buy. This is actually the main thing I don't like. I don't like defaulting when you don't even have armor. It's like, what are you actually, well, I can say, what are you legitimately expecting? But then Story will call by a P250.
Serious. Good angle for him. Got to be careful, though. I think he probably wants a couple. Oh, never mind. They're not even going to go for it. Buddha that goes down in banana as a retake of the top from sAw. They sort of fake away a walk back as well, baiting out the death cams and whatnot. He'll be sticking around here. I think that jump may well have been heard. Still going to be tough here, of course. The lack of armor. Team kills not nice. Lasso goes down as the straggler. So there it is, the double digits for sAw. Now, for my money, one good, clean rifle round away from 12.
Yeah, I'm with you. Only 3 rounds away as well from taking this series. First 2 maps, as we mentioned in this veto, statistically the weakest maps for 9Z. The third map, is arguably the strongest for sAw. They won the veto from the get-go, and at the moment they're winning the game too. Potentially even the penultimate gun round, as you were alluding to. Heading in now, we lose this. Probably have to bid farewell to 9Z. sAw on track as well for going back-to-back challengers. In the spot that they're in, of course, they will be attending Atlanta. Looking to attend Kato. Wasso next star. Wasso nearly gets the second as well. And then he eats a dink.
Well, the best start for sAw, but maybe recoverable. They're trying to get the guesswork in as they rotate a few more players around to A. 9Z have slowed things down. Looking to net this next frag, Rozdosh. Dangerous angle, but he's got backup. Hoping that they come his way. Hoping to just sort of bait them in with maybe a step or two. Make his presence known. 9Z. Start the contact in. The edge. Spotted. You jerks. One's not going to be enough. He remains alone now on A as well. So looking to have an incredible round here. Takes another down with him. Oh, a little bit of team damage in there as well. DDT left low. They don't know where you jerks is at. He remains alive. He's trying to buy time. This rotation takes its sweet time getting in, but Roman at the very least catches them before they get the bomb down. Double smoke to make sure that he does not have a chance. Molly goes in, making a run in. Looking for a gap. It's not really there. Max watching the top of the smoke and will take his head clean off.
They needed that. They really, really needed that. But 9Z, that's just going to keep them briefly afloat in that sense. So, yeah, massive one to be taken, but it's also that real sigh of relief in a sense for 9Z. Losing that, we're talking about them potentially even playing for overtime. That's how drastic of a round that was. So keep them in arm's reach. Still won't be able to deny sAw getting an investment back in, though. They get that full buy-in. Just use a bar, maybe. Aristosh with that FAMAS, but in the right hands, that gun can rip. Whether that's here, though, we'll have to wait and see. Lose this, though, for sAw. Probably get tied, 10-all.
Story. Flashed off. Survives it. Mutiris holding the angle here. But another chance at it. Yeah, they let him correct. Even gets a tiny bit of damage out on the USP there, so that's 2 and a bit secured for him. Would be a fantastic response round here. Story holding down the line. 9Z, they have been stopped.
Two jokes. Adds more misery to the side. I think Roman's going to add a hell of a lot more. That bomb goes flying up into the air, and that'll be the conclusion here. Aristosh spots at the last DGT. Yeah, best of luck. Aristosh, he's so composed to know that there's no point re-fighting in towards that. Has the worst gun, but also just knows worst case scenario, he stays alive, right? Which still means his money is all over the shop, or the alternative is a kill on towards Roman, but no one else needs to hunt him. He cannot get this bomb. And I think that drop of the smoke basically indicates what is going to be the end of this round. sAw up to 11. 9Z back to the drawing board, and actually back to a really, really dicey spot too, just because the Lost Apprentice isn't fully built up with that round one in the previous. DGT is not going to gain any money from this because he's staying alive. I don't know if we're going to be able to force buy in towards this, or if we, basically, if we want to force buy into this. Wasso, max, really low. DGT can't properly drop. He can drop a Galil. Bluda can get an AK head armor. No util. Martineza can get half armor. It looks like bits of investments are coming through. Is it going to be full or half? I think we're going more towards a little bit of a half buy here. Just one Galil picked up for Martineza. 1.2 left in the bank for him, but of course, you have Lost Bonus still. Ooh, good start for that Galil.
Not bad at all. It's all looking good. Victory on the horizon. The tournament life on the line now for 9Z. really challenging position for them to be in. And I don't think that's the way that they wanted to kick it off either. Slowed the clock way down as, I mean, they just don't really have any options, do they? Severe lack of utility, of course. Again, looking for the contact A, and sAw very ready for it, man. They changed their setup quite actively. Story rings off a shot, doesn't land, but able to stick around.
All right. Terrace. Waiting to swing on towards the site. Playing well. It's back in towards the smoke. Expertly played as he dances around the position. Could get another. Will looks for a third. Deletes him as well. Pistol pulled out. And looking to try and go head-to-head as he's reloading. It's Scrappy and Irish Thought. Just helps him out a tad, as it will be. Map and series point for sAw. Elimination point for 9Z. They've now got to go 4 in a row to take us to OT.
Yeah, no mean feat. They are not foreign to the feeling of needing to close the gap, though. Did it yesterday against 3D Max. Did it today as well. So 4 is a lot, though. 4 is a lot, it feels like. Especially on Inferno. Not usually a map that hands itself to the overtimes, just because of saves and whatnot, right? These keep their economy going for quite a long time. Aggression down middle. Force the issue, it would appear. Ujerks finds himself 2. Teammate doesn't find anything, so that leaves it even. And the T-side will actually kind of take that somewhat. Although it is a chaotic start, they're able to keep up those numbers and gain control of the game back. Roman takes a few bullets on the way out.
Yeah, well. Materis holds. Anyone goes looking in towards apartments, he's got a very good angle here. Getting active. The swing doesn't favor him. It's a left IP. So down he goes. Buddha takes damage, sure, but 90 are walking away with the numbers. And, of course, the ace site as well. No one's here. He was the last out of the fence, and he gets active. Maybe overly active. There might even be a call to potentially not even give this retake a go, especially considering Story's got an orb.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe if they find, you know, something on the way in, but it's nothing there. So as the bomb goes down, they'll save. I think it is completely fair enough. 9Z have bought themselves a bit more time. Gonna need a few more of those, though. Yeah, an interesting kind of decision as well goes their way, let's say.
All right, well. AK and AWP being kept alive is fine. Still got money. Still got chances to close us out. 3D Max, when they were against 9Z, were 12-8 up and let it slip. They did win it out in overtime. That was on Dust 2, but it's still choked from this position. 9Z, when the pressure's on, they do actually do very well. I mean, sAw were also on Dust 2 just earlier, map number 1. They were on map point in regulation, weren't able to close it out. On map point in OT2, weren't able to close it out then either. 9Z, when their backs are up against the wall, they do actually do some of their best work. They seem to really step up. Diamond's made under the pressure and all the rest, and yeah, they shine in that round, but they do it consistently for a few more.
We're about to find out. Nades rain on in from both sides. Actually, no one really taking any damage. I figured it might be a bit deeper. Couple nades expended, but yeah, not the case. Still, keeping the bodies there. Roman will lose his head. Max was ready and waiting for that. It's all feeling like they have to force the issue here. Right idea. Finds the kill as that smoke begins to dissipate. I think showing up on the minimap a little bit there, Huaso, before actually appearing. Gives the game away. So back down to a 4v4.
Alrighty. Pumping the brakes here for a second, 9Z. Got to smoke up. Coming towards B. That's where they're going to finish. Materis. Ujerks got to go big here. Materis has come alive in the second half. He had a really poor first, but he's looking better here. Another smoke. Actually quite expertly timed. Just as the execute was being set up, but they just go through the smoke. Materis going to play anti.
Dangerous game. He doesn't get checked. He's away with 2, nearly 3. Onto the USB, but surely has been set up here. indeed. It is just Max. Trying to work it through the smoke. Not going to happen. sAw have read like a book in what is to be the final round of the qualifier here for 9Z. Mr. Max, it's all consolation. There's absolutely no way. Story sees him off. And the 2-0 is netted. A hard-fought battle on map 1. Still challenging on map 2. But sAw, as predicted, come out as the favourite there. And they will stay alive in the lower bracket.
Yeah, good performance coming through from them. I think actually really deserved as well. Played some great Counter-Strike. The individuals look clean and crisp. And we really